Welcome back, everybody. Time now. Game 2 of Natit Gaming up against Signature.Trust. Natit Gaming, a 20-minute Game 1 victory. Very one-sided stuff. It was part of the strategy, but man, was it fast. And, well, to join me for hopefully a slightly longer, maybe a more competitive Game 2, it's Blaze. How you doing, buddy?
From Winter in game number 1, but this one might be a little flimsier. I mean, we are looking at a sniper opener. It got through the first phase, and I think that definitely is worth the pick. But Signature.Trust immediately jumping on the Clockwork and Lion. Quick heroes to bring him down, and they're going to need a lot of support for this guy. They probably need a force staff to rush out for one of the supports, or even like an offlaner or a mid, so they can bail him out of cogs, and overall, they're just going to have to really play around this hero.
Yeah, the insta Clockwork response, and you talked about the Wiz Tiny in Game 1. It's the general go-to for Signature.Trust in that second pick stage. Once again, Natit Gaming saying, you guys can have it. We're going to hop right into the draft. Whoops, I forgot to turn on that overlay. Whoops. There we go. That's your draft for you. It's a Spirit Breaker, Natit Gaming. So they've gone for Sniper Skywrath up against the Clockwork Lion, Wisp the third pick, and you've got to imagine this will be the Tiny. There we go. Tiny comes out. It's the Thai staple duo here in the second pick stage.
Yeah, they will always pick it when they have it available, and it is no exception here. What do you think about the setup for it this time around? Last time they tried to go with the Magnus as their offlaner and say, okay, well, if you could land these crazy good RPs or skewer into a good position, then we'll follow through with the IO Tiny. Boom Bell kind of felt a little slow on that, but do you think they're going to be better off with the Clockwork?
I think it's very little difference between the two. I mean, obviously, they're quite different heroes in how they work. It's a lot harder to hit an OP than a hook shot, but I just still feel like the two heroes feel like a similar role. There's slightly less teamfight potential. You're not going to see those flashy moments where you hit like a 3, 4, 5 hero RP followed up by the Tiny cleave with Empower. This time around, it's going to be much more about the Tiny being an independent carry in the Clockwork. Being able to initiate and not have to worry as much about follow-up, not having to hit as many heroes with initiation. He's much more going to be about, like, get a squishy hero like the Sniper and bring him down to start a fight off with the Tiny relocated. It's not going to be like, you've got to hit 3, 4 heroes in a cogs and cleave them down with a Tiny. So it's lower pressure and easier to execute, but it's a similar concept, I guess.
Yeah, he's a very stable tempo controller, so he can definitely make it so that Locales can get to the size that he needs to, go up to level 16 at the very least. And another aspect of it is that it's a denial pick. I mean, the Sniper was a first pick. They wanted to respond to it, and if they let Clockwork through, it probably would have been picked up by Winter. His Clockwork's great, and Sniper Clock just creates this really nice synergy between the little turret and the buffer around him with those cogs. So we've seen that multiple times over from like teams like Vici Gaming and other Eastern teams, and I think that would have been taken advantage of if Clockwork wasn't selected by Signature. So kind of flips the draft around a little bit, and we're seeing these last phase bans. Puck will be banned out, but Queen of Pain selected here for Signature.Trust, and presumably on their mid, since they like to run that IO in the safe lane.
Right, so Queen of Pain likely mid against your Sniper. Sniper could have some help here. You've got the Spirit Breaker who offers some potential pressure onto Queen of Pain, but curious to see what Natit get as their last pick. Spirit Breaker could well be the offlane. Can be run as that kind of 4 position support, but just generally doesn't feel like the hero's natural role necessarily.
5 seconds
Sure.
remaining.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they have in store for us. There's a lot of ways that could go with this draft, but I think that they still need a little bit more control. They have literally just the one stun and then a lot of bashes. They have Headshot, which doesn't actually stun, but it does reduce the movement speed and attack speed. They have the Troll bashes, and of course the Greater Bash. And I think all of those are going to be really well enhanced by the Battle Trance. You're going to see a lot of those auto attack procs come through, but you can't rely on that alone. They need a big spell, and that's going to be the Ravage. Tidehunter coming out for Winter on the offlane. We've seen what he can do with this hero, and it's also a great way to respond to the Tiny Wisp relocates. Like, you know exactly where they're coming in. You can blink on that spot. At the very least, anchor smash it if you don't want to commit the Ravage, and that will make it very difficult for Locales to deal his damage.
Yeah. Okay. So it's very. I feel like this is kind of similar oriented draft from Signature.Trust. I mean, they kind of just mix out a few heroes here and there, generally with their strategies. The Queen of Pain instead of the Storm, the Clock instead of the Mag, but very different angle from Natit. They're not going to be looking to end the game as fast as they did in Game 1. They're a bit more. I mean, they've got the team fight of the Tide kind of to fight around rather than like the Chen, the Shadow Fiend of Game 1. So a kind of different angle coming out from Natit Gaming.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the tempo is any different because I think that the big thing for Signature.Trust is to get off the ground with their supports. Like last game, they spent a lot of time on the off lane, not only trying to zone out a hero that just doesn't die in the Morphling, but also even when the Morphling rotated towards the opposite half of the map, the supports were kind of still setting up their farming creeps. They weren't pushing the tower very quickly, and there just really wasn't that emphasis that they needed to assist the mid lane, and that's going to be an important difference here. They're going to be moving down bottom, and yeah, it looks like Tiny Wisp might take the mid lane instead. And as I was saying, they ran Boom Bell, who seems less comfortable with the hero, as the Wisp, and they're switching around this time around. Shiro, Jab, I think was his name in the last game, still the same fella, and he is running the Wisp. He has a lot more experience on this hero competitively.
Yeah, putting Arba into the offlane on the clockwork, so switching him off the support into a core role. And the other thing is, you kind of mentioned when we first saw the Wisp, was played in the kind of less conventional way, and it felt like the slightly less optimal way in that previous game where we didn't go for that bottle rush from the get-go, went for a more balanced build with, basically playing the hard support to allow Lion to go boots first. This time around, it's Lion getting wards, sentries, courier, all that jazz, so Wisp can rush the bottle.
Yeah, but this you cannot get the top
out. By the way, they're on the. Yeah. They crossed the river. They've actually been. They're being pinged out
because of Shrapnel. They can be really confident here. Shrapnel with 3 charges at level 1 is absolutely insane for rune presence. You get first bloods all day long on a sniper lineup, and this is no different. Top rune is 100% theirs, and it looks like Signature, but at least be able to grab the bottom bounty rune.
Clockwork. He went for the cogs push, didn't get it. Now maybe in some trouble. Oh boy, the cogs wear off and Spirit Breaker will charge, so you just need some body blocks with the second shrapnel coming through. This is looking like our first blood. Conk shot for the slow. And Arba, the stout shield is nice, but it's not nice enough. NJ helps set things up there with a triple shrapnel that you were talking about, and it's Natit Gaming who come off to a good start in game 2.
Yeah, you just don't go for that, man. That's just something you just have to completely surrender in order to make it work for you. Shiro does actually get the bottom bounty rune. He wasn't camping it, but the Lion lets him have it, and he does get the bottle, so they can play aggressive like this. Already getting all their mana back after the avalanche and doing a lot of damage to the sniper, but they won't go for the last hit here. The Gust of Slow forces them back, and it's a good thing the Skywrath is here.
Yeah, that was pretty scary for your sniper. I'm like, okay, they got the avalanche, but they're not level 2. There's no toss. And then they just kept right-clicking. They kept right-clicking. They kept chasing. I'm like, okay. Good guy Skywrath going to take the Wisp balls for his buddy Sniper. And there's another Avalanche available. And level 2, we'll see if they try and go in for some kind of a stun toss combo. There's 6 mana show the combo, but that's where if you're tethered up, the Wisp can instantly bottle as the Avalanche comes out to give you that little boost to your mana if you want to go for that kill.
Yep, most definitely, and we're going to be seeing a lot more potential to kill the sniper very soon, but we did see Winter drop pretty low down bottom. He got hit by the Shadow Strike and doesn't have the Kraken Shell yet at only level 1, so my pro brought him very low, but he tangos on up and he still has some regen in his back pocket. So I think the offlaners in general are going to be pretty heavily contested, and oh, look at that. And a nice little observer ward for Boombell to take care of so that he can actually start pulling more actively. Like this single pull, all that does is push the lane because the creeps die under tower and he gets a double stacked set of range creeps. So kind of bad for him, but now that the pull is unlocked, he can kind of get the creep equilibrium back under control, as well as contest the runes more directly.
Speaking of those runes, 2 minutes approaching, Wisp warning one of them, and not going to find the top one as Ice rotates in off the top lane. Actually went for a charge mid, which he cancelled, and he's going to take the invis bottom lane. Lion will get himself the bounty rune with a use of an impale onto Winter's Tide, but that means no bottle refill for your Wisp, which is a huge victory. Now, mid lane, Lakel's in some trouble here. He's already used the avalanche, and he's going to be a Spirit Breaker charging and cancels the charge. Goes for the Wisp instead. I don't know if that was the right move.
Yeah, if he had greater bash the Wisp, then that would have been an easy kill. This quick stun hit and then the right click. But the problem is he doesn't have greater bash skilled, so that doesn't happen when you charge through somebody. It does absolutely nothing to them. And I think he forgot that fact.
Empowering haste?
Yeah, I mean I think that's okay. Empowering haste is really good, but
I mean it's movement speed. It's on a bash.
Yeah, no, he definitely the way he played it, he kind of felt like it was innate to the charge when it certainly is not. It's something that scales with the other skill set. So yeah, it was a little awkward there, but I don't know if they really needed that kill. It certainly would have helped though.
And the tiny kill was not a sure thing either, because Spirit Breaker would have hit him with the charge, but ultimately what kind of follow-up there was limited shrapnels, and the Spirit Breaker alone may have not been able to get that kill. So it was not a sure kill regardless, but you're going to see another initiation mid lane. Lakel's gets the avalanche tossed back. Tiny does have a shrapnel available, and that probably going to be the end of that unless the Wisp balls get Sniper low, 30 HP. He'll survive, but We force back to base, picks up a TP scroll, and not exactly getting a good amount of fire. Actually, Outlast hitting the Tiny, so...
Charge up top.
Okay. But Cogs ain't going to help you there. And he's going to get... Looks like he may be brought down for the second time this game as, yep, Troll Warlord with the Skywrath Arcane Bolts gets a straightforward kill on your Clockwork.
Yeah. So one thing to note is why the sniper didn't die there. Shiro went for a 1-1-1 build. I'm a big fan of this build. You get a lot of value in the fact that you obviously need the tether first and foremost, but you also get to use the overcharge to heal up the Tiny in a tense situation. But when you're lacking that second point in spirits, that's a little bit less damage that you bring to this low HP sniper, and it's just enough to keep him alive. So he heads back, TPs forward, and I think he's actually going to be tanky enough to survive the level 2 spirits now. The extra toss here might be the difference maker because Lakelz can get that mana back freely with the bottle, but it's just going to come down to the numbers here.
Charge coming in mid lane. Tiny, going to be the one they go on here. Doesn't get the avalanche off to cancel the charge. They silence him up as well. The shrapnel slows are there. This is just a hard kill in general to get. Wisp with a full bottle. And that's where they didn't kill the Tiny that last time, but they still pressured him out of the lane and also secured Wisp the 4-minute rune. So he refills his bottle, has that heal available for Lakelz, and that was just a kill you're not going to find. But instead, they're going top lane. They charge back the other way. But they get hit by the charge, and there's a limited mana from your Troll Warlord, so it doesn't look like this is a kill they're going to be able to get here. But Troll still looks great, gets the melee whirling axes, and Arba just plays super aggressive there. Now the TP support comes in, and Psionics quickly realizes he needs to get the hell out of here. Queen of Pain gets one, looking for a second on ice. Unfortunately, Blink just level 1, so it's a long cooldown.
He could try through the trees with a Sonic Wave, but the Abba's not going to walk that route. Instead, we're going to be seeing Sniper go down on the mid lane, but Io and Tiny both dropping very low. It's going to be Roger with the return, and almost a second kill. This is 2 points in Arcane.
Oh,
2 points in Arcane is going to do enough.
Suddenly, Skywrath's level 4, going to have the mid lane, will get himself level 5, and maybe even get a couple last hits here. Sniper does not have bottle to heal him up, unfortunately, but... yeah, NJ going for all these cost-effective stat items, but Wiz Tiny still just have a lot of damage output. 2 points in the spirits now. We talked about that build a bit, and Tiny also just being level 4. But Tiny's rotated bottom lane. They're done with the Wiz Tiny mid. They've had it. Yeah. Wiz Tiny just to get the safe lane farm.
Fortunately, MyPro didn't get the free bottle refill when Shiro TP'd in, but he's still going to go right on the Sniper. A lot of damage going into him on mid, and with the Sonic Wave, he'll go down first. Down bottom, though, of course, Winter getting just chain disabled. And that's going to be 2 in favor of Signature.Trust.
Okay, not too shabby here. There's a charge coming bottom lane. Boom Bell did not have vision of that one, but looks like Ice going to cancel it anyways. Just a level 3 Spirit Breaker, and the Tiny nearby, that was unlikely to kind of end well for your Spirit Breaker if he commits to that alone. But here comes your rotation once more from Winter. We'll TP back to the lane, and a smoke from Rogi as well as Ice. Going to be looking to either go on the Lion or the Tiny here. Lion very low and unlikely to stay around this lane. So they go on the Tiny for now. He's going to have to come back in for an Impale. Otherwise, Tiny's just dead here. The Whisk going to show up here. Nice Impale catches Winter, and we'll see the rotation in from a Queen of Pain with a double damage room. That's going to be a dead Spirit Breaker as a result. They get 1 in return. Queen of Pain blinks forward aggressively. Wants Rogi. He's got a nice 4-0 dominating streak. That's a big kill to be getting. And one more right click will do it. It's a lot of money going the way of MyPro on that Queen of Pain.
Yeah, they thought they had something there on the Tiny, bringing him down to -1 armor, getting all that damage against him, but the response was just perfect. MyPro still that DD rune active and just puts it to use. Now he has Treads, Null Talent, like all the stats you'd ever want to play around with on a co-op early game, and yeah, they're building up this Tiny quite substantially. I really think this is going to be a completely different game. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen the Ravage yet, Winter not even being level 5 just yet, but it just feels like Signature.Trust are responding so much better. The big problem with Game 1, they weren't adapting, but having Abba on the offlane, having this support duo, I think it just works so much better for Signature.Trust.
Yeah, the support duo just seems to be actually in the right place at the right time, saving people from ganks with the Wisp tether heals, with the Lion impales, and the Queen of Pain, MyPro, just his movements around the map are being a lot more fluid this game as far as what he's getting done. So now looking for some kills at top lane. Clock hits level 6. Gets the hook shot in, and Psionics. No TP support just yet, and looking like he's got no way out of this one. It's an Impale from your Lion. The Clockwork, not...
Oh, no! Oh, okay.
Wow, that last right click. That +7 Lion-based damage, that, I think, secured that kill. I'm not sure if he would have got that otherwise. Ice will charge himself in and take the lane for now, but Queen of Pain, blink in mid lane, goes in on NJ. Gets silenced up though. NJ just going to turn and fight. Assassinate is there.
Ooh,
Micro looking for the ultimate.
nice
Won't
turn.
get a chance to use it. Nicely played. Sniper just holds his ground. Tango himself back up and head back to base to heal. That is a big kill for your Sniper to be getting.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more mana plays like that in the future because they still won't be able to have a force staff for a while to bail people out of cogs. They kind of just have to stand their ground and fight it out as best they can. So we'll maybe see a little bit more of that. But before any more action occurs, I do want to talk about wards and vision a little bit. We did see a really sneaky ward coming out from the Spirit Breaker here on the mid lane for the Radiant side. That is going to be giving them a lot of great intel. They also have, of course, the bottom rune covered, so they have some really good dire vision, and then some decent for the Radiant side. Of course, they have also the mid lane, and they have one behind the tower up on top. So kind of trying to go behind enemy lines, we're seeing a lot of like initiation wards. These are going to be priming people for making the jump and the commitment they otherwise wouldn't.
Yep. Well, for now, it seems Natit Gaming going to be possibly looking to use this Tide Ravage. They've got no smoke on the Skywrath Mage here. It looks like Tide as well as Skywrath is going to venture towards this mid lane, recognizing that this Sniper is constantly the one getting initiated on. He's gone for not just a bracer, picks up the Belt of Giant Strength. You generally want to build those treads anyways. Seems to be probably bought as much as phase boots nowadays on the Sniper, and he's nice and tanky with 900 HP.
Relocate top, a lot of damage on the troll. Okay. Doesn't even stand a chance there. They just go in. Every time they have the hookshot cogs, they're going to look to make that play, and it's going to be more assist gold for the kills, and he's going to actually pick up Drums of Endurance before moving in towards that Ags this time. Another decision that changes the tempo of the game. Like, if you just go for that Ags rush with your supports babysitting you the whole time, you'll be able to come online faster, but you won't be able to do anything until you find that Ags. Here, he's actually really getting involved, and they're going to have to commit a lot to bring him down.
Oh, Skywrath, Avalanche Toss.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Winter's just like, I mean... what am I going to do? There's a charge coming in, but that Spirit Breaker was still at mid lane. He was a long ways away. If you use a Ravage there, maybe it saves the Skywrath Mage, but you're not getting any kills in return. That Tiny has 1200, 1300 HP almost. That was just not happening. That was just...
mid, the quick finger, whoa. Sonic Wave, bye-bye. Your effective HP. You can buy a Belt of Strength, you can buy a Bracer or a Wraith Band, it doesn't matter. We just have so much nuke damage that you will still die in 2 seconds flat in bottom lane.
The first pick Sniper being heavily punished this game. You see a charge come out. Shiro maybe in some trouble down bottom lane. Has a retether if Tiny can kind of run far enough away. Ravage can be used here. Just the Whisk going to get put out. They've got to kill him. They do bring him down here. The Clockwork. Hookshot doesn't really get too much in return, but Winter will be brought down. Queen of Pain blinking in. Gets off a Shadow Strike as well, and that means Roger could be in some serious trouble as well. Queen of Pain with the blink in 2 seconds, but decides against TPing into Sniper. Does have 3 shrapnels available, so not exactly a dive you want to be going for.
Exactly, but I mean, they've just done so much work across the board, getting this kill advantage against a team that arguably has more potential damage output at the right times. Like, you pop the Battle Trance, and the bashes are going to be insane. 1 Ravage plus Battle Trance, and they should be able to take a fight. But so far, it's just been Signature.Trust with the smarter movements and the more efficient uses of their ultimates. Another big thing is that when Queen of Pain rotated top and then mid, Lion got to farm the lane for a decent bit, so he got to get his finger very early. But now, he might be feeding that experience away.
Wall charge, going to get somewhat dealt with by a relocate in. It's actually going to get turned around. There's no Ravage available in Psionics. One more right click. Yes. Got to find it. The toss will do it. And now the relocate out. Lakel says, leave me here. I want to get this kill on my buddy Winter. Winter will bottle up underneath the tower, and it looks like Boombell and Lakel's won't be able to find that secondary kill. But they get the troll. They don't take any casualties. Lion gets kept alive. This Lion, it's not just level 6. He's level 8. Holy cow, he's got 1400 gold as well. They see Winter here. Toss forward.
And they toss him right in. Oh!
Avalanche, dead Tidehunter. Nice combo and aggression coming out. Elsewhere, it's Queen of Pain and Sniper trading lives at bottom.
And Shear's going to go down too. He does try to pop the urn defensively, but they have vision on him because of the charge, and they're going to be able to clip him with the last Skywrath hit. So, yeah, a lot of kills across the board. This is a very global game.
Wow. Bracer Gaming, not just, well, your Sniper picks up a second Bracer. Your Tide's building a first Bracer. This is, yeah. I guess the answer to all this nuke damage. Your Queen of Pain burst damage, your Tiny burst damage, but Tiny's going to start building into a carry soon. This is just the temporary threat of the nuke damage, but sooner or later it's going to be...
oh, and mid again. Jeez. Just getting easy hook.
Wherever he goes, he's getting chased down. This is his 5th death of the game. 2 braces ain't going to save you there. They're looking for return kills here. They TP in Tide, but 4 Myth-Trust heroes, and they want to fight this one. Winter doesn't get tossed up in the air. Otherwise, they could have gone back. Sonic Wave gets there 1 second before a Ravage was available. Not sure they could have used it anyways to much effect. Rogi getting chased down. This drums on your Tiny doing serious work. The toss from downtown. Shiro goes in. He goes out. Nice bit of 1-2 play there. This charge surely has to be cancelled from Ice, and yep, he'll do just that.
And that's where I think the initiation wards that the Dire side put down can really bite them in the ass. Like, you look at mid lane and you see this Observer ward would be really good if they were on the offensive, but they're the ones being initiated on every single time, and if they don't have any vision on their own side of the map.
They need it on the, like, they need that, like, just hill ward in the mid lane, be it on their side or the other side of the river. That would just give them so much more useful vision right now, because they're not the ones looking to initiate in.
And it's just like they're not playing defensive, or they're not like being given the defensive position in order to respond to these situations. So yeah, they'll get some farm on Sionix. He's not had too much difficulty, but overall, like they can't really respond to the situations as well as Signature.Trust can, and they're using the relocate so much more differently than they did in the previous game. They're just Lakel's is getting really involved. He's building up kill momentum. He'll have his ag soon, and they have it ready for bottom if indeed the charge goes through.
Well, went through a creep wave, which was possibly a bit of a tell. If Queen of Pain was watching those creeps, there'd be some mysterious bashing action going on, and Queen of Pain drawing lines on the map saying, yeah, okay, I think something fishy's going on. Troll comes out, and Queen of Pain with a very good idea. They get down another aggressive ward by the tower. This may get them 1 kill, but it's going to end, like, I feel like it could also end in a similar situation where they have another aggressive ward, which doesn't give them necessary kind of defensive vision. Even if it gets in the 1 kill on the Queen of Pain, it's not even going to do just that. MyPro's already hidden.
He doesn't have a TP, so he's making his way to the shop slowly but surely.
Yep. Now, yeah, there we go. He'll get there. He's also building a Yule Scepter. This is one of your kind of cheaper options as far as countering the Skywrath Silence, if that's all you're going to die to. Either that or it also can cancel out a charge, so Yule's a pretty nice item this game. Does kind of slow down any bigger items, more high impact items like an Ag Scepter or an Orchid you maybe want to go for, but this is going to keep him alive in general.
I'm really impressed by Boombell's farm. The fact that he was able to get a free lane for just 3 or 4 minutes jump-started him to the point that now he has a Blink Dagger at the 1540 mark. So that's pretty insane. Being able to blink in and just add to that initiation. This sniper's got to be paranoid, just looking at the trees, looking at all sides. All eyes are on him because suddenly hook shots, sonic waves, everything coming out from all directions, and the feed trade is going to be real if Winter cannot respond in time with the Ravage. Now, he doesn't pick up a useful rune. If like he had a haste or something, it might make up for the fact that he's nowhere near Blink, but yeah, he just gets a bounty rune in Winter.
Oh boy, this is going to backfire. Hook shot in. They hit Winter with this. He still has mana for a Ravage here. They're going to lose Rogi to start things off. Possibly Arbor gets the kill before he's going to go down to the Whirling Axes. They've already lost the Sniper as well. Troll dies. Sonic Wave coming through. Signature.Trust just swarming all over Natit Gaming. Winter possibly the next to die. The Whisk gets out of there with the relocate ending. The toss back not going to happen. Maybe just toss him up. Does do so. Avalanche in 2. Down you go, Winter. That's full dead. Spirit Breaker. Yeah, he's charged top lane. Looking for that Wisp, which I don't think he can actually get. He's got no nervous.
Nah, not with block.
Wow, Queen of Pain's.
Jeez.
Oh, nothing go in the way of Natit Gaming here.
Yeah.
This is looking like a 20-minute game the other way this time.
Exactly. And you're talking about the HP buffer that, like, the bracers and treads and stuff were just trying to buy a little bit of extra strength to survive through all this burst nuke, but once the Queen of Pain hits level 11, that just goes completely south because you're trying to buy temporary band-aid fixes to something that's scaling against you. The Sonic Wave gets stronger, there's more damage coming out, negating your HP pool, and there's no way you survive it. You actually have to be able to fight it, and until they get the Blink Dagger, I just don't see that happening. In fact, Winter, is he going for a mech? How do you feel about that?
I think almost at this point, it's not like he hit an okay Ravage that last fight. I don't think he's having problems hitting Ravages because Signature.Trust, like, more often than not, just engaging into them. I think the issue is just staying alive, which the mech is going to help with. As far as his just personal, gives him some stats. It gives the team the heals. So I think it's probably the best option. Ultimately, it's.
Oh, Ice. That was actually pretty insane. Now, MyPro has a Yules, and
the hook shot catches out the sniper again as well. Actually, nice Nether Strike. That's going to save Ice and get a kill. That hook shot onto the sniper ends up kind of backfiring there.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of wanted to do two things at once, and they actually enabled the Spirit Breaker to escape out, as they don't really have the hard lockdown after the first couple of spells. So, yeah, that was actually pretty favorable for them. The line's still looking for blood, though.
You see Winter, and there is no Finger of Death available. He's bottling up the charge. Looks like it's going to get cancelled here. Winter. Well, it's not going to be NJ they're going instead. They Blink, Hex Impale, and NJ in all sorts of trouble here. There's going to be a toss to secure the kill, or at least help secure. Queen of Pain getting the kill. Yule's Scepter onto Winter will at least throw him up in the air for now. No Avalanche as he does get silenced up, but there's a Blink, there's a Shadow Strike in 1 second, and here comes your Avalanche. Going to be off the mark here. Winter's still alive for the time being. Finger of Death available in 5, but not going to need it. Lakel swats him down. Not as crisp as some of their earlier plays, but hey, they're still getting the job done. It's on Signature.Trust.
Oh, okay. Wisp making a quick journey towards the fountain there as the TP finishes for the Spirit Breaker. But yeah, just overall, that was a pretty chaotic fight. I mean, at least Natit are showing that they're able to respond to situations to the point that they can survive to some extent. It's not like a full team wipe in 5 seconds, but they're barely holding their ground. They still need to get a lot of farm to really make these drafts work out for them. And I think even if they get BKBs, they're still going to have some trouble. Because, like, usually you look at this, you say, okay, as soon as BKBs come out, these heroes can survive. But you're up against Hookshot Cogs, you're up against Sonic Wave, which pierces now. It's just not pretty.
Really nice counterplay from your Clockwork. He cancels the charge with a hookshot, pushes Ice with the Cogs, then the relocate comes in, and Lakel's going to turn this one around. The earn damage getting the kill here. They're going to lose Shiro here, but Lakel's, I think, happy to fight this one with a nice 2-hero impale. The toss to follow. Clockwork's back in with a battery assault. Winter to fall, and possibly Psionics as well. No mana for a TP out. He is trapped in this tree line. They're going to see him with the impale, and easy finish with the avalanche. 3 more dead. And possibly a 4th to follow. Skywrath Mage in trouble. Blink forward. Queen of Pain. Scream will finish off the job. That's 4 for 1. Force comes out from your Tiny, just to rub some salt into the wound from Natit Gaming.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I can't imagine it's tactical in any sort. They don't even have vision on the sniper there. But it's just it's a really rough game for Natit. Like, they had a very big confidence booster opening with that first game, but here they really have to get their heads back into it. Like, they are trying to get the mechanism, get the BKB up, and survive. But the sniper, they just have his number. Every single time they see him, he's dead like 5 seconds later. Like, the only exception was that Clockwork hook play with the Nether Strike. But even still, like, he has died 7 times this game, and I would say he'll die 7 more within the next 10 minutes. Like, it's like he just doesn't have anything to keep him alive. The mechanism is going to help. Ravages will be great, but they just use their Ravage, and you see them, they're still 4 dead.
And right now, it's just like these net worths, it's a sad sight. Your supports on Signature.Trust are all out farming the sniper, all out farming the Tidehunter. 5 of the 6 top net worth heroes are just on that Radiant side. The Troll, who I think is top, he's top CS still. He was at like 80 CS when everyone else was at 40 CS. Like, he's been last hitting like a madman, but he's just constantly getting ganked out. Hasn't been able to offer too much. And also, I feel like he should have maybe gone for the Max Fervor build, because it feels like Roshan was one of the big kind of comeback possibilities for Natit Gaming. Not having Max Fervor made Roshan not really possible for them. Like, they tried it once, they even pinged it out since as if like, oh, we need to go for Roshan, but having this Max Berserker's Rage means it's a lot harder to actually go for Roche.
I agree and disagree at the same time. Like, I think that Roche is extremely important for them, but I don't think the Clockwork would let them. Like, essentially, every single time Abba has this hook available, like, he's a threat for engaging a Roche. They also have Relocate, they have Blink. Like, they can fight this pit pretty hard. But I think if they really invested in it, got 1 pick off, they could follow it up with the fastest Roche you can imagine with that Fervor. So I think there's a world where that would be the right decision. This game, I'm not sure if it factored in just because of the state of affairs. There's so much going against them right now with this Clockwork engaging as aggressively as he wants to with the Blade Mail and everything else following through. Like, they are only losing supports recently, and I think the Signature.Trust are very confident to engage on all terms, especially with the Observer Ward that's outside the Roche pit itself.
I guess it's more if they could like sneak a Roche with like smoke, I guess a Troll smoking in and going for a solo Roche while his team show on the map and just kind of like try and sneak one by Signature.Trust. But like you say, the Rocket Flare, if you're proactive about constantly using on Roshan, chances are it gets scouted. Well, right now, Signature.Trust, 27 kills to 11, have got themselves a 10k plus gold lead, about a 15,000 experience lead, and not really any signs of slowing down. The mech on the Tide doesn't seem like a big game changer. Your sniper, I mean, he's just got your bare basic stats, has 1100 gold, but what can he really pick up at this point? The Troll BKB is probably the one kind of nice item they can get, which will allow him to fight a bit better, but Tiny is just so far ahead of this Troll.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still a lot that'll go right through it. There is going to be the hook shot, the sonic wave. Those are going to hit really hard in his HP pool, and I think he needs the BKB and the mech to be used on him in order for him to survive long enough in the fight to do the damage.
And even just Lion in general, pretty good against BKB heroes because of the ability to blink hex them and catch them before they actually use a BKB. You burst down heroes just before they can react.
I mean, he has gone for only 1 point in Hex here, Boom Bell. He did go for a max mana drain build so that he can kind of go for the items that just allow him to jump in without worrying about his mana pool. But his Earth Spikes have been so damn good that it hardly matters if he has 1 point in Hex or 4, because like he's hitting the Ravages that Winter is not.
Yeah, we're seeing more Ravages out of this line this game. Perhaps Hookshot going to go in front of the creep wave. Somehow threads the needle there, catches out NJ. Is there going to be enough damage yet with the Queen of Pain? You betcha. Throws Tied up into the air with that. The avalanche toss now. Winter.
Buy your mech, no!
Second. Oh, they lose the clockwork. Sonic Wave comes through, gets the Skywrath Mage here. Troll on the run. Is MyPro going to commit to this one on the high ground? Decides against it. It's the charge down bottom onto the Spirit, well, from the Spirit Breaker going on to Shiro.
I think he can tether.
Like it. Shiro going to tether forward. Actually goes onto the Queen of Pain and is going to survive for the time being. Ice does not have a second charge for 5 seconds. No chance for TP out. 4-for-1 trade. I feel like I've seen this one a few too many times this game.
Yeah, it's been quite unfortunate. Winter, he actually had 1,000 gold right after the Clockwork died, but didn't buy the mechanism. The one thing that would like regularly bring them back, and he's still going to be about 130 gold off while their tier 2 gets obliterated. 4 points in overcharge, a tiny with the negatives. You know how that story plays out. The Mountain Giant just brings this thing down with a couple of quick swings, and how do you control the Roche Pit without a tier 2?
Well, I think chances are they're going to struggle to do so. It's a tiny not bad at the Roshan, but I guess the rest of the team isn't really Roche-oriented. There's no medallion as well, but... Well, this is a worry. Ancients being claimed, and Radiant Vision just all around that Roche Pit, the Ancients, mid lane, in the enemy jungle. They have Natit Gaming on lockdown. You try go anywhere to farm, you're going to get spotted.
Yeah, this is just a really difficult game for them. I kind of feel like they needed momentum in this game in the first place, because we were talking about the greater bashes and the battle trance. You need to survive long enough in the fight to really make use of that. Like, attack speed's great if you can attack 6 or 7 times, but if you're just hitting 2 or 3 times in the fight before you go down anyways, it doesn't really matter. We are going to see the Roche attempt, though, the Rocket Flare off cooldown, but he is invis, and he wants to keep that invis, therefore not scouting the pit.
I mean, give another 5 seconds, I feel like you're going to be like, okay, there's 5 missing for too long. They're smoked up and doing something. And now they're drawing around the Roshan pit. Rocket Flare, where are you? Hasn't been used. They're going to run into the Wisp Tiny here. Wisp going to be the first target. The Ravage comes out. They blow up the Wisp. Can they bring down the Tiny? Looks like they may be close here. Tiny turns around. Avalanche Toss going to start right-clicking, but those whirling axes causing him some problems here. Finger of Death comes out. Doesn't get the kill on NJ right off the bat. Ahaba goes into the Roshan pit. Does finish off the sniper, but... not the most favorable trade so far for Signature.Trust, but they're going to look to change that one. This Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave goes through, catches out a couple, even hits Winter as well as the third, and they're going to lose Winter on top of this. So they pick off a Wisp Tide to start the fight and essentially lose the ensuing 3v5 engagement.
That would not have happened without MyPro's ultimate, though, and with the Aghanim Scepter, they're like, now we can't even fight when their ultis are on cooldown. They just have too much, and they will tap out early.
That means we're going to a Game 3 decider here between Myth.Trust and Natit Gaming in the Summit 3, right here in the qualifiers. And, well, gotta say, so far every series has gone 3 games. Even the first 2 ones we had yesterday with RRQ up against NVIDIA Aces, as well as that second series between MVP and First Departure. Well, looks like another series going the distance, and only one more round 1 series after that, which is potentially another close series, an all Pinoy affair with Arcanus versus Execration, but... these 2 teams, it's really hard to predict how a Game 3 will go, because both Game 1 and Game 2 were so one-sided either way. It's hard to say which team even looked better this series.
Yeah, it really is, because, I mean, if you look at just one game and you tunnel vision that, like, it's 100% one way or another. It's really I got to come down to this last one, the strategies and everything they've learned from the past two games, what they can bring to this. I think the sniper is probably the wrong way to go about this matchup, and I don't know. We'll be seeing. I would love to see Raji going up against MVP Hot Six in the finals, as former teammates, but. Whatever works. I mean, obviously, Signature.Trust have proven themselves once again here, and if they play like that, they certainly can make it an intense Game 3.
All right, well, Game 3 is where we're headed, guys. We're taking a quick break. When we come back, myself, GoDz, as well as Blaze, will be bringing you Game 3 of Signature.Trust taking on Natit Gaming. Stay tuned.